I wanted to touch on what you said earlier about Western Australia, because obviously being from WA, the election that's going to go on is quite interesting for a number of reasons. One, I think that Mark McGowan has increased in popularity dramatically since COVID. Um, a lot of my friends wouldn't have even been able to tell you who was the premier as sad as that is prior to COVID, and absolutely not only will tell you who it is, but tell you all the reasons why they think that he's great now, which has been, I've always been a fan of Mark McGowan since his first day in, so I'm happy enough with that. But for any of the other micros and minors that are running now in this in the upcoming state election, I think we'll have to get around that increase in popularity of the Labor Party and people's desire to support. What would you say to them as to why it's still worth giving the minors the first preference over, say, a second vote to Labor? Why is it important to still have different voices in the Parliament?
Look, I think there's a couple of things there. So firstly, a week is a long time in politics.
Yeah.
And March 2021, what's that, 9 months or something? That's a long, that's an eternity. So look at Daniel Andrews in Victoria, the corruption state, so to speak. So let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Trump was looking good when he had all the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, talking to the American public there for a while. And, I think power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So, if it's a choice between Liberal and Labor, you can take your pick, and I understand that. But without more diversity in the Australian Parliament of ideas and policies, we're not going to go anywhere. Western Australia has really unique issues. It's got an over-reliance on two industries, mining and housing. Yep. Both of those are unsustainable industries. They either rely on shipping off iron ore or what have you, or finite non-renewable resources, or they require ever more people. The housing property industry, and there's a massive stranglehold of the property industry in WA. You can see it through the Minister for Planning and others that are really well connected, shall I say. So if you want to continue business as usual of flipping between the two major parties, that's okay. But for all the reasons that we talk about, we think that, if you're talking about the environment, if you're talking about stopping overdevelopment and protesting the destruction of bushland in Perth, of the destruction of, the beachfront and the amenity, if you're talking about housing affordability and bringing in proper policies that don't give away housing grants to foreign buyers, if you're thinking about diversifying the economy, these are some of the things that you would want to look to a minor party for, because you're not getting that in the major parties.